You know how sometimes it feels like change just happens all at once? Like the world shifts in a single, dramatic moment? But what if that's not the whole story? What if the change itself isn't what's sudden, but our seeing it is?
So let's start right there with that big question. A market crashes, a social movement just seems to erupt out of nowhere, or an idea finally clicks in your head. Did the change really happen in that instant? Or is that just the moment when something that's been going on for a long, long time finally breaks through to the surface?
We've all felt it, right? That sudden moment, it's such a powerful human experience to see a big shift as this abrupt event, a clean break from everything that came before. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that feeling. So, what's actually happening beneath the surface? Well, the idea here is that most change is really a continuous, gradual process. It just quietly accumulates, building up pressure and gathering momentum, totally out of sight.
This gets to the core of it, unseen accumulations. Think of it like this. The reality we see every day, that's not the whole story, not even close. It's just the tip of the iceberg, the part of a much, much longer process that has finally gotten too big for us to miss. The real heavy lifting of change was happening long before we ever even noticed.
And this brings us to the concept of the threshold. Now, this isn't where the change starts, it's where we start to see it. There's a cool technical name for this, a phase jump. It's that aha moment, when all the quiet little bits of information you've been picking up on suddenly snap together into a new, crystal clear picture in your mind.
So, crossing the threshold isn't really about the change itself, it's all about our awareness. It's that moment when this long, invisible process finally hits a critical point and just bursts through into our consciousness.
So what triggers this phase jump? Turns out it's not random. 3 specific conditions need to line up. First, cognitive resolution. Think of this as the focus on your mental camera. Are you actually paying attention? Second, information density. Are there enough clues or data points out there? You can't see a pattern with just one dot, right? And third, interference intensity, which is all about relevance. Does this pattern of information actually mean something to you? It's the moment the data connects with your own life and creates a meaningful signal out of all the noise.
So it's the perfect storm. The alignment of these 3 things, our focus, the info that's available, and how much it matters to us, that creates that moment of sight. A change becomes visible not just because it's big, but because we are finally in the perfect position to see it. And when you start to look at the world this way, everything kind of flips. A market collapse isn't a moment of sudden creation. It's the emergence of weaknesses that have been building up for years. A big societal shift isn't some overnight revolution. It's the surfacing of undercurrents that have been flowing silently for a generation. And this is how it all connects back to our world. That sudden event we see is really just the point where a process that's been brewing for a very long time becomes impossible to ignore. It's the moment the unseen finally demands to be seen. This quote just nails it perfectly. Reality reveals itself when the conditions for seeing are met. Just think about that for a second. The world isn't just changing out there. Reality is constantly revealing itself to us when we are finally ready to see it. It puts the focus on the observer, not just the event.
What this implies is pretty wild. It means that all around us, at all times, there's this unseen reality, a whole world of continuous changes that are quietly building, just waiting for the right conditions to pop into our view.
And that leaves us with a final and pretty powerful question. If change doesn't just suddenly happen, but only suddenly becomes visible, then what are we all failing to see right now? What's building just below our own personal threshold of perception, just waiting for its moment to emerge?